Explain like I'm 5. How did the U.S. rise to a global superpower in only 250 years, but counties that have been around for 1,000s of years are still underdeveloped? America didn't form from indigenous tribes in 1776 or 1620. It started as an extension of Britain, with all its scientific, technological, and bureaucratic knowledge and experience, as well as large investments. Favorable geography and climate, and an influx of people realized that favorable potential. Other former settler colonies, such as Australia, Canada, and New Zealand are also highly developed. Progress over time isn't guaranteed. A devastating war, plague or simply bad leadership can set a country back decades, and these things can happen over and over again. The U.S. has incredible potential for building a superpower. The geography is nothing short of amazing. It has lots of natural harbors in both the Pacific and the Atlantic, enough arable land to feed itself many times over, vast resources of all kinds, oil, minerals, gas, you name it. It was too remote to be in any real danger of the other great powers of the time, and its only two real neighbors are weaker states that pose no threat. It had all the resources and living space it needed to grow into a superpower, and all it really needed was good leadership, good institutions, and enough time to grow, and that's what it did, with relatively few setbacks, while other countries have been perpetually ravaged by wars, famines, disease, and tyrants. Something I don't see in the comments here is that the 1,000-year-old CIVS have already boomed in their time. Ancient Mesopotamia, Iraq. First of their kind, ancient Egypt. Medicine, language, sea navigation, mathematics and architecture. Ancient Persia. Literal near global domination. Greece, Rome, Ottoman, Mongols. Messing with any of those CIVS in their time was a guaranteed loss. When you're around that long, it becomes exceptionally hard to stay. The USA is younger than all of these places, so they had the advantage of applying learnings, newer government models, hiring proficient engineers from abroad, etc. Think if you were to suddenly receive a new plot of farmable land and had near infinite resources to develop it, you'd probably be able to do a lot of research on the best way to set up. Ancient CIVS never had that, they had to learn and fail by trial. But to put it into some perspective, this is why countries that suddenly came into real money, Gulf, Qatar, etc., are building things like underwater taxi highways, fully air-conditioned stadiums, solar cities. They power themselves. They're not starting from scratch, they're standing on the shoulders of giants. The US is basically everything you could ask for geographically to make a superpower. Secure borders, see two sides, a friendly and far weaker neighbor to the north and a neighbor to the south they quickly establish dominance over. All other nearby countries are economically and militarily weak. Anytime a country can focus on its navy, it's in a good position to exert power abroad. Lots of fairly flat and fertile land to farm. The easily navigated Mississippi River providing cheap transport both throughout the land and to the sea. Loads of various natural resources making them dependent on no one. Add into that the initial advantages of being a European settlement, technology and good trade opportunities, and you have a nation that got rich quick. Wealth and security equals power. Edit. Please stop with all the "but slavery" comments. Yes, slavery was exploited by the US to help it grow. No, it was not a deciding factor in the country becoming a superpower. Most countries in the world have exploited slave labor at some time or another. Very few had some, let alone all the above advantages, and miles of coastline full of natural harbors, as another pointed out, to become the dominant global power. There is a reason the Middle East, which has a far longer history of African slavery, has no country with the power of the US.